to part 2 of my video. I was best split it up because it did go on a bit and I was muttering on for so long. I tell you what, look at all these baby sycamores here. I'm just wondering if I should take them and pot them up. Do you think people would want baby sycamore trees? I just think it's a terrible waste when they've come this far and they're doing so well. Look at the state of him. He's soaked. He's been in the pond. Spaniel. He's got all sorts in his ears. Micky's an old boy. Well, he's 12, so he's very fit. Okay, part 2. You can see a small area which is fenced off from animals, and there's a couple of old sheds in there and an old caravan. Well, I actually do pottery there. I make my own pottery, and I have my own kiln outside, which is a gas kiln. So there's no way I'm going to waste the electricity on the kiln. Can't imagine what it would be like, but yeah. And I plan to make that, it's probably about a quarter of an acre. I want to make it like a small allotment area. We do have bits and pieces growing in there. The only trouble is there's no water source nearby for it, only that small grey bucket. And you have to go backwards and forwards with a watering can quite often. Now, I did watch a YouTube video recently of a young girl and her partner set up an allotment, and I think it's Lancashire. She's got a Lancashire accent. And she said that she's got some water pump thing and she can use the hose pipe from a water butt to water her plants, which she did say is quite expensive. I was just wondering if I should reach out to her, ask her where she got it from, or basically hunt one down myself. I'm surprised this phone isn't overheated. They do tend to do that, don't they? I do normally have bees as well. I keep them there, but it's a bad winter. I didn't get through. I'm contemplating whether I should get more or not. We do have bad winters, if you can imagine. Let me show you my field. Right, so we have here of fruit trees which have been eaten by deer, so we've fenced them off, and they have actually sprouted leaves. I'm amazed. Mostly rhubarb, potatoes and beetroot, and we're thinking of putting raised beds in. I don't know whether I want to do this, but I'm going to raise beds because I do grow my own veg, but the trees behind the Polytunnel have grown up so much now that it is quite shaded. But it's in the morning it's sunny, and in the afternoon, late afternoon, mid-afternoon onwards it's sunny, but midday it's shaded, which I suppose is quite perfect. Oh, the breeze is lovely. So I'll go to my polytunnel. I'll show you my polytunnel. Yeah, so I was thinking of turning that into a proper raised bed allotment type area. See, it's very overgrown. It's crazy overgrown. That's because the animals don't go in there and eat all the grass. But if I let the animals in, they will not only eat the grass, they'll eat all my fruit trees, and I don't want them to do that. Anyway. So, at the back of us is the original, the one and only Caledonian Forest. I'm very lucky to have it bordering on our land. It's beautiful. Go up there, it's like going into fairyland. It's unbelievable. Okay. That's really cool. Look, my roadie's coming out. Oh, we've got beautiful poppies. When we first came here, the whole place was full of poppies. But you know, you get animals. No, let me set that straight. You get goats. And if it can be eaten, careful Mickey, a goat will eat it. Our original house went that way there. Gosh, it was gorgeous. I loved it so much. To go to my happy Polytunnel, which is here. Right. Polytunnel. So, we have a tap that comes from the burn. I'm amazed the water is still coming through here. Snoopy off on his... Oh, I've got some water there. I put water in buckets, so he's gone to the water. I'll give them some mash after I've done this. I'll soak it in cold water and we'll see. Right, so here, fenced off from animals is my outside bit, which I'm thinking of moving. Got all here beetroot, different stages. Up there, onions. Ooh, oh, there we go. Out of focus. Keeps going out of focus. Some flowers anyway, there. Odd pots of beetroot and things. Potatoes in containers. At the back, the earlies, so. At the back I've got 3 potato sacks with main crop in. And the rest are containers with rocket earlies. At the back I've got one of these cheap Chinese things hanging up on the wall. You can see that, let me zoom that in a little bit. And just to make space, I'm selling radishes in there because they grow quite quickly. They do dry out really quickly. But, let me see what else. I've got chard, the odd bits of chard growing, and I've got, you can't see, but behind this yellow, red, blue container crate with early rocket potatoes, I've got rhubarb. I've never done rhubarb from seed, so I thought I'd give that a go. We've also got strawberries there. In the yellow bucket is things that need planting out, putting somewhere. On my trellis here, I've got onions and leeks, and in the back I've got French runner beans. In the tyre there is filled with compost with horse manure, well-rotted horse manure, is squash. Now, I don't know if it's a giant pumpkin or if it's a red squash I got, a red, that looks really nice, a sweet squash. Can't remember. We shall see if and when it grows. So now, as you can see, although this is sunny, it's shady. Actually, I think this is the shadiest it gets because the sun comes across there, and the rest of the fields up there. So we have a big pond there. The heron lives. Yes, it does get sunshine. So here's my polytunnel. I leave this. This is such a mess. Okay. Here I have a spare tomato plant I've just stuck there, and a spare pepper. I have sunflowers mixed in with, I've got 1, 2, 3, right back there, 4 cucumbers. On the top here I've got red pointed cabbage. Here I've got kale, and at the back seedlings of turnip. Down here, carrots, chard at the back, onions, which might grow for seeds next year to sets. More carrots. I think that one thing there at the back is actually broccoli. There we go. In here I've got blue wallflower that I decided to put in here and grow. And they've come on unbelievably well. So my mum can just, plant them out. I've got, and what are these? Pom-pom asters just coming up in there. Right. I think I need to water these soon. Here we go. At the back, I've got a spare pepper. Just a sweet red or yellow pepper it'll be. Here, again, peppers. Some have been eaten. Now these aren't getting enough light either, I don't think. I'll have to do something about that. Yeah, peppers. Here we have mangetal. I think that's how you say it. We've got loads growing on here, look at this. I can't remember whether I should take them now or leave them till later, but I do have a lot. They've done so well. This, for all you horsey people around, or animal people, is the netting off a round bale. Waste not, want not. In here I have kale. Here I have potatoes. So many potatoes. So many potatoes. I do have room at the back. I have actually got, if you see those in the centre there are cones. They are Sweet corn. Now, as you may be able to tell, I'm from Liverpool, and when I first got married, I actually grew sweet corn in the garden amongst the plants. So this is the first time I've actually planted them up here. I've tried it before, I thought I'd give it a go. So my tomato plants are all here. Well, the majority of them are. And I've got so many different types, and I can't remember what they are. They are, even though they all look like they're in pots, they've got no bottoms on the pots and they're into the ground. So, doing quite well. This here is a trailing blackberry. That was new, I only got that recently. What's it in here? Oh, and I've got this wonderful contraption, which is a drain pipe from the old house, which we cut a slit in the top, and I'm hung it, and I grow my salad leaves, and I just pick them up. I've been picking baby ones from that. My water bush. I have one of these. Mickey, what are you doing? One of these solar panel fountains, just to keep the water moving, because I'm trying to grow watercress. So that's outside. We go this way, I'll show you. Yeah, I've got 3 more tomatoes there. I was gifted these 2. I don't know what they are. They were spares. I've got here growing cucumber melon. Now, I've never grown one of those in my life. I don't know, it doesn't look too happy, but I don't know if it can cope. We are in Highlands of Scotland. I know they're quite common in Australia and New Zealand. And they're wild. Mickey is on. Get off my... Get off. Oh, he's all back. Oh yeah, so they said that they go quite rampant. And I don't want them to go rampant. Oh, he's here. I've got... You see, I've put copper around the tops of these. Put them like that to make a collar to stop the slugs, and that one's been eaten. Which is typical. Now these are mango weasels. They're probably planted far too close together. Actually, they're a mixture. They're mango weasels and beetroot. I don't know if that's going to work. That again is a maybe. So on the top here, let's go back. And here I have kale. These are majority flowers. Pansies, 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 pansies. That needs going out. That is a cabbage. That is a kale, by the looks of it. What on earth is that? I'm sure someone will tell me. This is a beetroot. Beetroot that needs to be planted out. Beetroot. Beetroot, that doesn't look too happy, does it, really? Pansies. Leaf celery. Oh, I've only just discovered that. It's gorgeous. I've got to stop picking it, let the poor thing grow. Now, I think these are squash. I don't know. There is squash or cucumber. In here we have beetroot. Okay, I think it's beetroot in there. I have a couple of raised containers here. These got munched. I've moved them here. There were flowers that usually planted. I've got my carrots. These are Tokyo white turnips. I've got a tomato plant there. These are some sort of flower again. I don't know what it is. Right, sunflower there. Now, the majority of stuff on here is flowers. That there in the big tray is kale. See, now these things need to go into outside. The things that are all put too close together, and I haven't got any raised beds. And my husband is a voluntary worker. God love him. Oh, somebody's been eating my wolf corn flowers over there. Yeah, he's a voluntary worker and he works really hard. And I don't want to pull him away from his voluntary work. They're going to get munched. I'm going to have to move them. Anyway, before I move them, it's very hot in here. So yeah, there's my polytunnel completely packed out. Every use of space I use, as you can see. These are all tent poles made, raised things with, and that's an old dog bed thing. I don't know where that came from, but anyway. Right. There you go. That was my first vlog. I don't know if anyone's even going to bother to watch this, but I reckon it'll be good for me. Good for my mental health, good for everything else. To plod along and do this. So, from Mickey, who by the looks of it has been in the pond. I wish you a beautiful day. Wherever it is, whatever the weather, have a beautiful day. Enjoy the world, it's wonderful. Bye bye, till next time.